Hey guys, it is Jen with Mother Time. Welcome back to my channel. So recently I went thrifting and thrifted a ton of baskets. Well, not a ton, but a lot of baskets that I couldn't pass up. Wait until you see, I'll show them in just a second. The thing of it is they're not exactly the color I want, but I have a solution that I wanted to share with you today. Now this video is going to be kind of broken up into two parts. The baskets that I'm going to be redoing is in today's video, so this will hopefully give you some inspo. If you have baskets you thrift, or if you see a basket at the thrift store and you're like, I love it, but it doesn't match my color, I'm going to show you how I'm going to change them out. And then in the next video, these baskets I'm going to be using here in the dining room, I'm going to be giving the dining room a little bit of a makeover too. So wait and stay tuned for that coming up in the next video. But today we're going to be focusing on the baskets because these are beautiful baskets. I couldn't pass them up, but they don't match kind of the color of baskets that I usually go for. But like I said, I didn't want to pass them up. Let me show you some of these. They were just so beautiful. I even tried to put them in here and they looked off. I love thrifting picnic baskets. And look at these beautiful picnic baskets. Now, I do have some that I've kept, you know, the way that they were at the thrift store, but for some reason here in the dining room, they just have not the tone that I like, more of the brown tones, more of a washed look to it. This kind of is leaning a little more orange to me, especially here in the dining room. The set that I have in my living room is kind of this color and it works, but you know, different rooms, different colors. So I want to change the color, but look at these beautiful baskets that I found at Goodwill for $5.99. And these are old picnic baskets. I love them. And I love picnic baskets because they have the top, so they're great for storage too. So they look pretty, but they're also great for storage. And the great thing is, I not only found one, I found the one I was so happy about, but then as I am going around the thrift store, I found the other, a matching one. So let me show you that too. And here's the second one. It's exactly the same as the other one. It's got the same top, except this one has some red duct tape on the handle, which I'll take off. It was also $5.99 too. I was so happy to find the one, but then I spotted this one too. I was so happy. Even when I was checking out, people were admiring these because they're just so beautiful, especially for $5.99, because when you go to the antique store, they're definitely not $5.99. So this was a great find at the Goodwill. I also thrifted this basket. Now this basket I'm not going to change because this is a color basket I love. I love that brown tone, a little bit of a wash color to it. It's so pretty. Anytime I see baskets already like this, I scoop them up. This is what I found at Amvet's for $3.48. What a deal, right? That's why you cannot pass baskets up at the thrift store. If you need baskets, go to the thrift store before anywhere because you can always find a ton of baskets. And if they aren't the color that you're looking for, I'm going to show you a solution so you can change them so they are the color you love, like this one. So this is a color I'm going to be doing on the other baskets today. I also found this set of 3 baskets at Salvation Army for only $9.99. It was such a good deal. There's a small, medium, and large basket. This is the small. This is the large. I love the shape of them. Unfortunately, the color's not exactly my style, so I'm going to show you how I changed these today. I also thrifted this large wicker laundry basket for only $3.99 at the Goodwill. Now, one of the handles is just hanging there. I'm just going to take that off. The other side doesn't even have a handle, which doesn't bother me. I love tucking these under tables. I have one in my kitchen under the table with some pillows. I have one in the laundry room on top of my washer and dryer, which is great. That's practical, but you can use it for storage too. So like the one on top of my washer and dryer, I really don't use for laundry. It's more for decor, but I also use it for storage too. I also have one already here in the dining room under this table over here. They're great to tuck anywhere. You can put them on top of a hutch and add some flowers to them. And for $3.99, it's such a great deal. So anytime I see these at the thrift store, especially for $3.99, I always scoop them up because you can use them for storage, you can use them for decor, so many ways that you could decorate with these throughout your home, and they fill a large space too. So those are the baskets that I'm going to be working with today. Now there's several different methods on how to stain your baskets. You can actually stain your baskets, which I'm going to be showing you how I do that today. There's also a method of soaking steel wool in vinegar, letting that soak overnight, and then spraying the baskets down. And that reaction with the steel wool and the vinegar will change the color of the baskets. There's also the bleaching method where you soak your baskets in bleach, and that kind of takes out any of the stain too. I've also seen where, and I've done before too, where you can spray it with oven cleaner and then let it kind of sit for a while, similar to what people do when they spray furniture with oven cleaner, you know, that method, and then they use the steel wool and scrub it down, and that changes the color too, which I've done before. But today I'm going to use stain because I want these to go darker. Also too, with stain, I feel I have a little bit more control on the color. When you're spraying it with the steel wool vinegar solution or bleaching it or even using the oven cleaner, I feel like you're kind of like risking how the end result's going to turn out. You know what I mean? Like you're going to spray it and fingers crossed, hope for the best, whether you're spraying it with the vinegar and steel wool solution or spraying it with the oven cleaner and then of course bleach. You're basically just kind of stripping the entire basket and you don't know what the end result is. And I don't want to damage the baskets. And again, you don't know what the end result color is going to be. I feel using stain, I have more control of what the color is going to be instead of like spraying them and just, like I said, fingers crossed, not knowing exactly what the end result is. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to stain these so you can see the before and after. So you have that control with the color, whether you are going lighter or darker. This is just a safer method for me. Like I said, I've done the oven cleaner method before and it works. I'm eager to try the steel wool vinegar, which maybe I'll try on a small basket at one point and see how the end result is. Maybe I'll love it, but like I said, I am a creature of habit and I like to kind of know what I'm getting into, and having that stain and being able to apply it in layers to get exactly the color I want instead of just spraying it and hoping for the best. Since it's a frozen tundra here in Buffalo, I'm actually going to be working here in the dining room. So I'm going to clear up the table and cover it so we can get to work in here. And like I said, speaking of dining room, coming up in the next video is a little bit of a dining room refresh. One of the things that I'm going to be working on is this table. This table, since I got it, it was from the Magnolia collection when the Magnolia collection first launched years ago. This was the first like table. I remember I had to wait like 2 months to get it, but it's time to retire the white table. So we're going to be working on this table here next. So stay tuned for the next video to see how the color of this table changes too. Fingers crossed it turns out. We're going to be staining the table too. So I'm excited about that. That's the next project we're going to be getting into in the next video. But today, let's get to work on the baskets. Here are the 3 stains that I'm going to be using. I'm unsure of exactly what combination or if I'm just going to use one. The first one, these are all Minwax. This is called Early American, a tried and true one that I love. This is the one that we have on our beams. I use this a lot, so I love this color stain. The next one is another one that I like to use on a lot of craft projects too. This is called Dark Walnut. I'm afraid it might be too dark. I might try and just do a very light coat, but I've used this on different projects before too, so I'm going to try this. And then as a backup, I have Provincial, but it's very similar to Early American, so this is just a backup. I'm going to test out the Early American stain on the bottom of the basket first to see how I like the color. This is honestly the color that I thought I was going to go with because I love Early American, but unfortunately, it is too close of the color of what the basket is, and I'm obviously trying to change the color of the basket and get rid of that orangey golden color. So I'm going to, after I apply just a little bit more to see if it gets any darker, I'm actually going to switch over to the dark walnut color. Now these are definitely going to be darker baskets, but I love the way the darker tone works here in the dining room. In a different room, I may go lighter. Now, the funny thing is, and I forgot to mention at the beginning, and if you remember seeing my dining room in the past, I used a lot of gray and gray washed baskets. And I'm kind of out of that phase, at least here in the dining room. I wanted to have more of the brown tone baskets in here. So I pulled all of my gray and gray wash baskets out of here because I wanted to do more brown. And the dark walnut, as you can see, it is definitely dark. And Wayne came in to help me too, so that was a big help. But we were having fun. We were chatting and working on the baskets. So I was applying a rather thick coat of the stain because I really wanted to soak in and penetrate into the basket. And then I'm just taking actually a paper towel and I'm wiping it. So you can see as we keep wiping it, it's such a simple process to do. And you can see the before and after from the one that we didn't do versus the one that was done. It's such a transformation. So just easily taking stain. Now the dark walnut may not be your color of choice, but that's the beauty of stain. There are so many different colors. So get a few different ones and try one out that works for your style of decor. And then you can easily apply it to your baskets. And the best thing with stain is you can build on it. So you can go very, very light, or you can do it thicker depending on how dark or light you want to go. So now I am working on the picnic basket and I'm doing the same thing. I started actually with the Provençal on the picnic basket because I wanted to see what that looked like. And again, it was still not exactly the color I kind of envisioned in here. For some reason, just the orangey tones just do not work in the dining room. So I went with the dark walnut also on the picnic basket. Doing the same thing, just adding, now I was adding a rather thick coat just so it really penetrate into the basket, and then wiping the excess off with a paper towel, just going around. The end result, these are so rich, but they just really look so beautiful here in the dining room. I'm also using a nice stiff brush. It's by Purdy. I picked it up at Lowe's. I will link it in the video description, and that is really helping with applying the stain to the basket. I love this dark walnut stain. I've used it for years, especially on a lot of my craft projects that require a stain. It's just that perfect shade of brown, and I feel like you just can't go wrong with a brown basket. So when in doubt, if you have a basket that you want to paint and you're unsure of what color, like, you can't go wrong with this color. It's just perfect. Start light and build depending on how light or dark you want to go with. And the end result, like, I've never ever said, oh, I wish I didn't paint a dark walnut. It's just that perfect shade of brown that is timeless. Here are the set of 3 baskets that we stained on top of the hutch. They look so beautiful. I am so happy with the way they turned out. I was thinking of also adding a whitewash on top of them in spots too, just to distress them a little bit, but I love the way they look like this, so I'm going to keep that as is and then maybe do that on another basket at another time. These just turned out beautiful. And I love them on here. Now, originally I was thinking of putting the 2 picnic baskets on each side and then that big basket in the middle, and then putting the 2 smaller baskets on my corbel and shelves behind me. But I kind of like this. I don't know. That's what the next video is for, when we do more decorating in here along with the table. For now, today was just knocking out doing the baskets, and what a difference. So hopefully this inspired you if you have some baskets to stain them too, because look at how beautiful, just adding that dark walnut stain. I was gonna try a different color. I was thinking about it, but I always know that dark walnut is one that you can always count on, especially when you want to get that orangey color out of a basket and you want to go darker. This is just the way to go. They just look absolutely beautiful. And then down here, and for now I have the picnic basket down here along with this basket that I showed you earlier. I love the color on that, and I love how these work together now. And then there is the picnic basket down there. So I may change this around. That's what the next video is for today. I just wanted to get the baskets all done so then we can dive into decorating and of course the table. Here are these 2 baskets that I had on the hutch up close. That dark walnut stain is so pretty on them. And if you love prim decor, which I know a lot of you do, dark walnut is one of my favorite colors to use. So if you have some baskets on hand, give them a coat of that dark walnut stain and they're perfect with your prim decor. I wanted to show you, I added, the reason I took those 2 down is I put one of the picnic baskets on top of the hutch with the larger round basket. Don't you love it, with some greens in there, and then I can switch the greens out seasonally. I still have to finish the other picnic basket, but it's time for me to wrap up this project now. At least I tackled a lot of these. I got them done quicker than I thought, so I will tackle the other one later, and then you'll see that in the next video. I was thinking of adding a little bit of a whitewash to these too, but I just love the way they turned out like this, that I'm not going to even bother with a little bit of a whitewash. And that's just taking some white paint, adding some water just to give it like that whitewash, and then kind of lightly going over the baskets too, kind of distressing them. But I just love the way these look that I don't even want to bother with that. I wanted to show you a comparison. This is the one that I just stained in the dark walnut. Here is the other basket that I haven't stained yet, so you can see a difference. And here is a basket that I have on my entry table. This one I didn't stain. I bought it just like this. I have a duck decoy on top of it. I love this basket. So you can kind of see the variation. I love this basket just like this. Maybe in a different setting, it would look, you know, better. But being that I'm putting it in the dining room, for some reason, it just wasn't working in there with the color of the dining room. So that's why I decided to stain it in the dark walnut. But that's the beauty of stain. So hopefully this will inspire you if you have baskets that you're not using, or maybe they're leaning a little too orange for your style. Simply staining it, and there's so many different stain colors out there. Get a few different ones to try to see what will work in your home. Okay, you guys, that is all for today's video. I hope it gave you some inspo on how to easily refresh some baskets that you may already have on hand or you pick up at the thrift store by simply staining them, whether you use this dark walnut stain or whatever stain that matches your decor. It's so simple to do. It instantly refreshes them like this. So stay tuned for the next video on how I decorate with these, as well as redecorate the dining room and stain this table too. I'm excited, but I'm a little nervous, so stay tuned for that. You can also follow me on social media at Mother Time. Check out my blog, mothertime.com. And if you've enjoyed this video and you are not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you click that subscribe button so you never miss a video. Okay, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me here today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.